Hey, it's Sue Greenwald here with Awakened Stories. I'm here today with Deanna Carr with the Mystical Moonlight. Hey, Deanna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So today's surprise topic is Walt Disney. Okay, so I haven't done any research. Okay, so this is the way I like to do it, is just pop out the questions and see what happened. But
Okay.
we're told that Walt Disney was this he grew up in I think poverty, and he liked to draw, so he drew like Mickey Mouse on a napkin, and he's the one that kind of like really perfected that motion picture stopgap motion pictures, and he
Yes.
did the Steamboat Willie, and a lot of other little tidbits that I've gleaned through his life is he really loved children, and he would have all these little parties in the backyard for the kids, like little trains and things. And that's how it was a precursor to his amusement parks.
Mhm.
Uh, okay. I know there's a lot a lot of ugliness here, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of ugliness, and if
Mhm.
you guys are Disney fans, you're not going to like this conversation. Um, he is very dark, and you've probably heard that people say that he is into what's it called? Not witchcraft, but Satanism, or whatever you
Yep.
call it.
Yep.
And that is completely true. There is a lot of symbolism within his work. Even if you look at the initial work that he did, such as Steamboat Willie, there's a lot of dark characters. There's a lot of ritualistic practices within it. Um, and at this point in time, people didn't realize how much absorption they were doing. Now, we do know more about it nowadays, but at that point in time, they didn't realize how it can change the persona of somebody.
Right.
So they would add these in. Um, he was poor. He wasn't sure what to do, but they knew that they had to do something, right? And a lot of people, when they, like we said before, when they're in this desperate mood, when they don't have anything else, they are going to do what they've got to do.
Right.
And he sold his soul. How do you think he got so famous? How, like, most artists go a lifetime of creating without really ever being seen. Like, some people know about them, but you have almost every country that knows Disney. That is pretty impressive for it to be just off of a little flip book.
Right.
Um, so yeah, there is a lot of dark things. Um, so he started off, he wanted to become an artist that would take his artwork and put it into motion picture. At this point in time, it's not a huge thing. So he did somewhat develop it, and they went with times. They tried new techniques. Creating something that was going to give motion, but it was also drawing, was very complex at the time. Like, they're just learning what cameras are, they're just learning how to project, so on and so forth. And so he took his ideas, he was able to use them, but by putting in ritualistic practices within his work, he was able to draw out more interest. People were, what is this? What's going on? And they were actually absorbed into these rituals, which was calling forth that high energy, not high energy, but the energy to bring abundance to him in a dark way. Once he got that started, he did go to multiple banks to see if he could get more money to get bigger, right? To hit more people, to make more of an impact, to get money. Um, and multiple banks did deny him. They didn't really like his work. They felt icky by it, right? Because if honestly, if you look back at it, I don't know how people actually liked it, at all. But there was a bank that actually liked his work and started to invest because they were on the dark side, right? Usually energy likes energy. So if you're
Right.
dark energy, you're going to like dark energy. Um, so it started there, and then that's when his artwork was starting to take up. His movies were starting to actually kind of become developed. His shows were being developed. And then for his place itself, yes, he did have a park in the back, but it was not because he loves kids. It's because he was a pedophile.
Yeah.
Um, and they had other practices also.
Okay. Which we already know. Okay. We are, those watching this already know. But
Oh yeah.
it's so sad, isn't it? So basically what I've heard through the grapevine was that the CIA helped him set up his parks. So they
Mhm.
actually helped find his land and help build the parks. And of course, we know that these parks have tunnels and they're, in the trafficking system. We also know that the Disney Cruise Line stops at the other side of Epstein's Island, right? And lets the guests off to play, and a lot of them go missing every year. So
Yep.
we're not told, the public is not aware of how many kids go missing from the parks and from the cruise lines,
Yeah.
right?
It's they actually now we're close to Disney. There's one bathroom that's nefarious for people gone missing, and they've actually made documents about it
Yep.
because the kids would go in and there was nothing to
No,
be seen.
no
No
trace
kid,
of
no
them.
nothing, no
Yeah.
traces of them. They can't find them
Yeah.
because they have secret passageways. Um, so yeah, it is a really big thing. Um, and it's really sad because they make it for kids. Kids are interested by it. Kids
Right.
want to go to these places because it is fascinating, right?
Yeah. So they've designed these parks basically to lure families with kids in. Like
Yeah.
they position it so it's for the kids. It's entertainment for families and kids, when
Hmm.
really it's a way for them to resupply their supply of children, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then they have the tunnel systems and all sorts of stuff underneath. I have seen videos of guys that end up down in the tunnel systems, and they're quite extensive and, underneath the buildings. And of course, they get escorted right out or they get in trouble. But there's a lot of
Mhm.
creepiness. Like, why would you have all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's really weird. And then
Yeah.
the one thing that recently surfaced was down here in Florida, they were trying to get them to actually start having to pay for their land. So they don't pay for what they're on right now. Um and they were trying to change a whole bill. I don't know the number of it. This was about 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Taxes, you
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah. And they are the I think it was the governor
Yep.
was actually going against them, and they actually had a really good case. But the lands that they actually have their park on is run by the Queen of England.
Yes.
So
And
they
so
can't do anything.
so what
And isn't that
happened?
interesting?
Yeah. So what happened is the governor of Florida said, "Hey, dude, you've been here 60 years without paying taxes." And they also have their own like police force, if you will. All right.
They
So
consider their own town.
they're not controlled by any, governing authority like, say we are, other than you
Hmm.
said by England. So they were like, we want taxes and all that. And so Disney was like, well, we're going to pack up and leave. And basically, they got away with it. They did not end up paying the taxes or whatever. The governor of Florida caved, and it might have been a whole ploy anyway, but he did
Yeah.
cave. So yeah,
Mhm.
ugly, ugly stuff. Think of the
Yeah.
money for you to go to Disney for a day now, and I don't even know what the number is. It's about
Oh, it's a lot.
yeah, let's say $200 a pop for a person, easy,
Mhm.
if not more than that.
That's not including the food. So Alan did look up how much it would cost for us to go with our kids.
Yeah.
It was going to be over $600 for one day.
Yeah,
And that did not include any food
right.
whatsoever.
Or
He
parking.
looked up or
Yeah.
parking that all, and he also looked up if we decided to take a vacation because he has friends that go, it feels like almost every weekend they go, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But it would have cost almost $10,000 for us to take a vacation to Disney
Like a week?
for a week. Yeah.
That's crazy talk. And you know
So
what? People,
they're racking it in
yeah,
because people pay it. They're
yeah,
obsessed with Disney.
yeah.
So I mean, some of their movies are good, but honestly, not that many.
Yeah. Yeah. And once you see the symbolism in the movies, like there's so many good videos out there that show you what they put in the movies for
Hmm.
kids. It's like pretty like disturbing actually, you know?
Yeah,
All right. And so
yeah.
he was satanic. Okay. They did
Hmm.
child sacrifice, right? He was
Hmm.
a pedophile. And they designed these parks to lure in families with children mostly. And of course, they're
Yep.
making a buttload of money, as the families come in to pay for parking and food and their tickets. I mean, the entertainment is nice, right? And the kids have a good time. But then we don't hear about the ones that go missing. They have a
Hmm.
whole department at Disney, from what I hear, at the parks that is concerned with cleanup and keeping things quiet. So if a
Yeah.
child goes missing, they know about it and they're going to do everything they can to cover it up so no one knows.
Hmm.
We've also seen recently, you know how they've been involved with the animatronics, like instead
Yeah.
of having like live animals, they'll have fake ones. And we see that especially at the Disney parks where they have like pigeons and birds walking around with cameras in them. And they're not real, but they're designed to pick off the children that are like away from their parents. The parents are distracted or not watching. So these like we'll say pigeons or whatever they are keeping tabs on the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is Walt Disney alive now?
I'm getting no.
Okay. What happened?
It looks like I'm getting he was taken out.
Okay. Is there anything else nefarious that we should point out that we haven't already? I think child trafficking, sacrifice, and Satanism is kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
Um, I
I
mean,
mean, I don't know how it
that's
gets
kind of a
better than
big one.
that.
Yeah. So I would say to this, I mean, I know a lot of people love the Disney products, the movies, the songs, the this and the that. I would say take a second look at it before you go spend your dollar supporting them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of other things we can support.
Yeah.
I know it's hard, like especially like having kids.
Kids.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a big one.
It's everywhere.
Finding something else that can interest them.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah. And the kids don't know any better. Like they all want the t-shirts and the products and things, but
Hmm.
like once I realized what was happening, I won't support them. Right.
Yeah.
So it's
Hmm.
unfortunate. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd say to the viewer, I mean, like we've just opened a big can of worms. The worms are
We
squirting
definitely
now.
did.
Please send me your questions for more videos on this topic because this is big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it occurred to me the other day, we've talked about a lot of people that some were obscure, some were not. They're all related. Everything is related.
Mm.
It's all connected. So,
Yeah.
anything else we should know here?
Let's see what the viewers want. Put it in the comments.
All right. Hey, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You've given us great content today.
Of course.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.